Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you're watching in the world. This is round 3, race 2, the grand finale of Formula Trophy. Good afternoon to those of you who are listening here in the grandstands at the picturesque Marina circuit, home of Formula 1 in the United Arab Emirates, but more importantly this weekend, home to Formula Trophy. Now, we had a very exciting first race of 25 minutes plus 1 lap here around the Marina circuit. 5.2 kilometers in length, 16 corners in total. They will start from the support at paddock area, so turn 1 for them will be halfway around the lap, where it's turn 9 where they'll be with their first corner here at the circuit. So what had happened in our first race? We had at least 8 drivers mathematically in contention for the title, maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less. My maths is definitely not my strong suit, but now I can tell you that there are only 4 drivers with 25 points on offer to be crowned champion come the end of this race here, and one of them is this man right here. He sits comfortably 11 points ahead of Rowan Campbell-Pilling, our race 1 winner, but Alp Aksoy from Turkey, well, he sits on the front row of the grid in that all-important pole position. There's the man from Turkey, and there you can see a blast of cold air being blown in the direction of Alp Aksoy. It is surprisingly warm here at the Marina circuit. I've somehow managed to pick up a sunburn somewhere around the track, so I'm going to stay indoors now for the rest of the day. It is 28.3 degrees centigrade outside. It was a little bit warmer than that when we ran our first race earlier today as well. But we'll get some shots back down to the grid, and we'll have a look at who we have where, because alongside Alp Aksoy, our pole sitter, and our championship leader, Tommy Harfield, will line up alongside him, and there he is for XGP. Here he is in his first race weekend, and starting on the front row of the grid with a lap time of 1:56.820, just within a 0.2 of a second bracket to our pole sitter. And then behind them will be Scott Lindblom, who got his first podium here at the Marina circuit in Formula Trophy, taking home 3rd in our first race after a fantastic battle for the 3rd step of the podium, which started off as a 3-way battle, but then slowly became a 5-car shootout for that 3rd step of the podium. And Scott Lindblom did a fantastic job of keeping a number of very talented young drivers behind him, including local sensation Adam Al-Azhari in the number 12. We're looking at the back bumper there of his teammate, the 55, Charbel, who starts a little bit further back than he would like to with the Lebanese driver. And of course, well, he's eyeing up a campaign in, hopefully, in Italian F4 next season. But here we are looking at Scott Lindblom. It's hard to think that he hasn't been on the podium at all since this weekend in Formula Trophy, with the run that he's had so far in this highly competitive field of drivers who have experience and are rookies as well. So if you're a rookie in this trophy round, a trophy series, that means you haven't done 3 or more races. If you've done less than 3, you're classified as a rookie, and we do have a number of rookies in the field, including the man on the left-hand side of your picture there with the Premier team standing in front of him. Of course, it is the Mumbai Falcons Racing Limited team that he is racing for here at the Marina circuit, for Formula Trophy. And there we see now the 15 of Nicholas Stati, who joined us last time out here and had a fantastic run, but had the watchful eye of the stewards on him a number of times in the previous race, but looking to go a little bit better here and sort of fighting out here with the championship hopefuls here. Could, of course, with him not being present in the first 3 races, it puts him at a points deficit, so no title for him here at the end, but he's certainly going to be looking for a way to end the season on a high. Now, this man right here in the Pinnacle Motorsport, Nicolo in the number 19, 5th overall, was on the front row of the grid in our first race. Sorry, he was on the 2nd row of the grid. He was the points leader going into this weekend, but unfortunately something that we couldn't find out exactly what had happened to the very young Italian driver, and unfortunately did not even finish the first lap of the race. So a lot of work cut out for him here. Now the good news is he is still within 25 points of Alp Aksoy, so he can potentially take overall top honours and be at the top of the driver classification come the end of the race. However, if he wants that to happen, well, that means Alp Aksoy has to finish 5th or lower. But it's saying that 5th or higher would guarantee Alp the championship. Now, this man right here took the first victory and was also the first driver who was not racing for Mumbai Falcons Racing Limited to score a victory here in Formula Trophy after the first race that we had earlier today. And what a fantastic run from Rowan Campbell-Pilling there to take that victory. Now he's 11 points back, so that means Al Aksoy has to finish 4th or better to ensure that he will be the one at the top of the driver classification come the end of the day. The other driver that's in contention with 61 points, so 19 points behind Al Aksoy, is David Cosma Christopher, who is not the man that we're looking at right now. Now David will start, the Romanian will start a little bit lower down. He will start down on row number 6 in 11th position. And well, after the run that he had in the first race, yes, 11th seems like a tough ask, but with that run that he had all the way outside the top 15, David would want to watch out for here, and hopefully he can snatch the title. But it's going to take quite a lot if he wants to score, because it looks to be about Alp Aksoy would have to finish 7th or worse. But with the campaign that Alp has had, that is not going to be the case at all. He's had a very, very strong campaign here in Formula Trophy. Now, alongside Adam Al-Azhari in that number 15, sorry, the number 12, excuse me, will be Nina Gaidman alongside in that number 6 in the high-tech TGR car. She's raced for F1 Academy. She's had a victory over there as well, and looking to secure a victory here in the final race of Formula Trophy as it comes to an end here after 3 very busy race weekends. Behind her will be another Dutch driver who has joined us this weekend, Casper Schortmans, who we're looking at right now for Evans GP. Didn't go as planned as well for him in the early stages of this race, but got continuously quicker throughout the session, but had a lot of work cut out for him. A lot of very quick drivers to find a way past. So we'll have to see what Casper can do from that 5th row of the grid, because alongside him will be teammate from Evans GP, Hunter Salvador, who we've only seen once on the podium, but we actually didn't see him on the podium in the first race because the penalty was applied to Alp Aksoy at a later stage, dropping him down the order to 6th position. So there is Hunter Salvador looking for his first outright trip to the podium. Didn't get to experience it, but did get the trophy at the end of the first round. So at least that's one trophy, but he'd like to add a second one to his cabinet to end the day on a high here at the Marina circuit. So those are your top 10. We'll go through the list when it pops up on screen as well, because David Cosma Christopher, one of our title hopefuls here, and to top the drivers classification come the end of today's 25-minute plus 1 lap, he would like to be the man that walks away with the coveted prize at the end of it, the biggest prize of it all here at Formula Trophy. But what could he do from 11th? Well, as we said, he was very quick in that first race, made a lot of movement throughout the early stages, but just couldn't quite make it through when it came to the end of the session. But he's going to certainly be one to watch out for. Alongside him is Peyton Westcott. Wasn't with us last time out here at the Marina circuit for the support races for Formula 1. Was racing over in Saudi Arabia in F4 Saudi. But great to have her here because she is a race winner in Formula Trophy and was the first woman to do so as well. So a momentous occasion there for the young American driver. Let's see if she can do it once again here, but a lot of work cut out for her. She'll have to carve her way through the field from the 6th row of the grid. So we're moments away. Start time is at 5:15 here. So a running order for you now. Alp Aksoy on the left-hand side from Turkey. Alongside him, the British driver Tommy Harfield lines up alongside in his first weekend with us here in Formula Trophy. Scott Lindblom took his first podium. Will line up in 3rd position in the number 5 with Nicholas Stati alongside for company in the 15. Then the man that came into this round as the points leader, who now sits 3rd in the 19 for Pinnacle Motorsport, alongside our race 1 winner earlier today, Rowan Campbell-Pilling in that number 42. Then we have Adam Al-Azhari in the 12 in the 7th position on row number 4 with Nina Gademan alongside for company in the number 6, starting from 8th position. Casper Schulmans in the 40 lines up 9th, and alongside him, Hunter Salvatore, looking for his first trip to the podium here as well. Then, the last of our championship hopefuls, Davide Cosma Christopher, lines up in 11th with Peyton Westcott alongside for company in the 98 on row number 6. Row number 7, Bernardo Bernoldi will line up alongside Noah Killian. Killian was also one to watch out for, didn't have the best race when it came to the first one earlier today, but he'll be carving his way through the field as quick as he can. Then we have on the 8th row of the grid, the 77 of Felipe and Theo Palmer. Theo was in contention for the championship, but unfortunately just didn't go his way in that first race. Cole Hewitson joined us here this weekend from South Africa in the 33 from 17th, and Yuta Suzuki, who was in that great battle for the 3rd step of the podium in our first race earlier today, lines up alongside him. Leon Hetfors, the Swedish driver, on row number 10 with Chen Segong alongside for company, the Chinese driver in the number 63. Puterahani Halim, the only Malaysian in the field in car number 88, starts 21st, with Arthur De Donker, a UAE-based Belgian driver, alongside for company in the number 99. Then we have the Yas Heat Racing. Actually, it's a Yas Heat Racing row 12 with Eduardo and Charbel sharing the 12th row of the grid in the 26 and 55 respectively. Kaylee Countryman in the 90 will start on row number 13 with Zachariah alongside for company in that number 17. At the tail end of the field, Jordan Moodley in the 64 for the second of our 2 South African drivers in the field. It will be a 25-minute race plus 1 additional lap. And who will it be to walk away with the biggest prize of them all? Albaxoy, Rowan Campbell-Pilling, Nicolo in the number 19, and Davide Cosma Christopher are your 4 drivers who are in contention with 25 points for a race victory. Those are the 4 drivers that are separated by less than 25 points, but it's going to be a very tough ask for all 3 of them to get close to Alp Aksoy, because the lowest Alp has to finish, if Rowan Campbell-Pilling, for example, were to win this second race, Alp would only need to finish 4th in order to claim victory come the end of this race. And starting from pole position, he's going to be looking in his rearview mirrors as little as possible to get that perfect getaway and to just never look behind him to ensure that he is the one walking away with that coveted prize come the end of race 2. So down the back straight we go. The field will now start to slow up as they will start from the support paddock as they did in race number 1. Their first corner will be turn 9, not turn 1. And it makes things very interesting because we had a very, very close start as well when the green lights went on. We saw Rowan Campbell-Pilling trying to push Alp Aksoy back, but Alp was having none of it and fought all the way down towards the very first corner, at turn 9. And Alp managed to get the upper hand of Rowan Campbell-Pilling, but when it came halfway through, Campbell-Pilling found a way through and took the lead back from the Turkish driver. So 25 points for a victory, 18 for second, third it will be 15, fourth, 12th, 10 for 5th position, 8 for 6th, 7th will be 6 points, 8th for 9th, 2, and at the tail end will be 10th, and that will get you 1 point. But all Alp Aksoy needs to do here is finish 4th or better, and he will secure the title here in Formula Trophy. So all of our 27 cars have made their way back to the grid. Well, they're slowly making their way at the back there. You can just see them trickling in through turn 8. They will line up in the positions, and once the gentleman at the back of the field is happy with what he sees, he will wave a green flag to signify that everyone is in the positions that they should be, and then the countdown will begin. It will be 5 red lights, and when they are extinguished, we'll be racing for the final time here in Formula Trophy in the United Arab Emirates. Alp Aksoy and Tommy Hardfield will share the front row of the grid. Who will it be through the final corner as Fahad waves the green flag to signify that everyone is in position. The lights are on, and it's a very short hold like we had earlier today, and we are racing. One of the Yas Heat racing cars did not get going at all. Now, who would that be? That might be Adam Al-Azhari, but let's see what happens down towards the first corner, because it's a great start there from what looks to be Alp Aksoy getting into the lead, but Scott Lindblom is trying to take third away pretty much immediately from the car that's in front of him. Well, he started in third, but he was under pressure already from Pinnacle Motorsports number 19. But through the first corner, we get through relatively cleanly here. That's turn 9, remember, but we're going to try and go 3 wide through and underneath the hotel complex. That was through turn 12. We tried to get 3 cars through there. How they managed to do that, I will never know, but a job well done by each and every one of these very young and very talented drivers that all have one goal in mind: to be right here at the Marina circuit one day, racing in Formula 1. So a great start there from the Turkish driver Al Aksoy from the Mumbai Falcons Racing Limited squad, out in front and trying now to stretch his lead as we're going to try and go side by side once again through turn 1. That's XL Motorsport on the inside now. Is that David Cosma Christopher trying to make his way up the order, because of course he's in contention for this title as well. He started 11th position, and that should be Hunter Salvatore that he was making his way past, but yet better yet, that looked like an AGI sport car, so that may be him and Bernardo Bernoldi. But if we look further back, we do have an XL Motorsport number 77 trying to make their way through, and we have contact through turn 5, and that is not what we wanted here at all. Now the damage looks to be ever so light there to the back of the Mumbai Falcon Racing Limited car. Now who was that? That may have been, I've got to look through the order here, I have a feeling that may have been, it didn't look like Peyton Westcott's car, but we'll wait and see when they come through and across the line to see who has tumbled down the order. And if that car gets through, and we've got 2 cars that collect each other, now that's an XL Motorsport, and at that time there is Peyton Westcott, unfortunately, who has been collected in the mayhem there, and that is absolutely not the way that she would have liked to have this happen at all. And that is very, very unfortunate. Now, there was that Bernardo Bernoldi. Yes, it was Bernardo Bernoldi that got up onto 2 wheels through turn 5. And I have a feeling that is Felipe in the 77 that came together with Peyton Westcott. Now, that is very, very unfortunate for the 2. The safety car has been deployed. Oh, sorry, no, it hasn't. The yellow flag is waving, sorry, at turn 6. Now, does that mean the safety car will be deployed, though? Because those 2 cars are in a compromising position and they will have to be recovered. The marshals here do an excellent job, though, to scramble and get things out of the way. But now we are fast approaching that sequence of corners. Will the safety car be deployed here? No boards anywhere. We are still green flag racing for the time being. It is Al Aksoy who leads by 4/10 of a second over Tommy Harfield. Scott Lindblom is 3rd, but we've got a battle here between Theo Palmer, and who is Theo Palmer battling with there? Is that the High-Tech GP of Nina Gaidman? No, it isn't. Sorry, because High-Tech TGR is Theo Palmer. It's Noah Killian of AGI Sport that he was battling with there to try and take that position away as they make their way through turn 1, now up towards turn 5, and this is where we saw the 2 coming together. Now 1 car has been moved out of the way. The yellow flag is still waving down at turn 6. No, now the safety car has been deployed. The safety car has come out. Now this, of course, is for safety reasons, so the field will be neutralised, and this is not what Al Aksoy would have wanted at all, because that will close them up here as Bernardo Bernoldi has gone into the pit lane in the 25 and has now come back out. So he will latch on to the back of the field here. So good news for Bernardo Bernoldi, and hopefully for the team, they've made sure that that car is A-OK for him to continue racing here. And I think it was Adam Al-Azhari who did not get the start that he wanted to, may have stalled there on the grid, because that Yassi racing car is all the way down in 20th position. And there you can see the 2 cars on the right-hand side of your picture, and that's very, very unfortunate, especially for one of our front runners as well, in the likes of Peyton Westcott, who is one of a handful of winners here in Formula Trophy. She took a victory in round 1, race 2. And it was a lights to flag victory as well for her as well. Now, incident at turn 5 between 2 cars are under investigation. One of those cars was Bernardo Bernoldi, and he was the one, unfortunately, that was stopped on the side. Now, the message has gone through, so I can't see what the other number was. Actually, there's a few under investigation by the looks of it. 77 and 98 under investigation as well. And that is the reason why we have the safety car out on track. Now, there are the 2 drivers as well from Mumbai Falcons Racing Limited and XL Motorsport, respectively. So let's have a look at what happened here at the start here for race 2 of round 3 of Formula Trophy. So here is the start, a great start there from Al Aksoy. Unfortunately there, Al Asari did not get going there, and it's very unfortunate for the AS Heat Racing driver, but has already climbed his way up into 20th position. We're trying to go 3 wide already, and it's a good job from all of the drivers there making their way through. It's not easy to go 3 wide through that corner, even think about it. And here is the contact. Now, was that Bernardo Bernoldi? Now, that was an XLGP car that he came into contact with, and here is the replay of what happened there between Peyton Westcott and, unfortunately, Felipe there. And I think Peyton Westcott was the passenger in all that as well, because she was a little bit further up the road at that time there. But we'll leave that for the stewards to decide what exactly happened between those two. So safety car out. The marshals here at the Marina circuit have arrived on the scene, and now the recovery effort is well underway here for the two. And, well, for Al Aksoy, he'll want this to last as long as possible to secure 25 points to his name. And it was the 58 of Suzuki that was involved in that incident there with Bernardo Bernoldi. And that's the reason why Bernoldi is all the way at the tail end of the field. So, as we said, Al Aksoy would want this to last as long as possible to ensure that he secures 25 points come the end of the race. But for those behind him, Rowan Campbell-Pilling, Davide Cosma Christopher, who's now up into 10th position, and Nicolo behind the wheel of the 19, would want this safety car to be done and dusted to ensure they have a chance to secure the title come at the end of the race here at the Marina circuit. Our 7th and final race here of Formula Trophy in the UAE. It's been a very busy 3 weeks here. We raced 2 weeks ago at the Dubai Autodrome. Then last weekend we were here in the support paddock, and of course for the Formula 1 race weekend. And here we are at the final, the grand finale here to crown a champion when it comes the end of this race here. So Adam Al Asri is moved up into 16th position before the safety car, and let's just have a look at what happened here between Suzuki and Bernoldi. So you see just 3 into 1, just doesn't quite work out there, and how that XL Motorsport car got through nice and cleanly, we will never know. But the good news is for Bernardo Bernoldi, he gets that car going again after taking a trip to the pit lane, and will continue to circulate. So Peyton Westcott there and Felipe unfortunately coming together between those two, and that was the 98 and the 77 unfortunately being collected with each other down at turn 6, and that is the reason why we are under the safety car. Now, the race start is under investigation. I'm not sure why. Was there a creep from any of the drivers when it came to the start of the race? We did have a replay, but I didn't see anyone creeping forward. Al Aksoy, unfortunately, in the first race that we had at the Dubai Autodrome, was caught creeping forward, although he did start before the lights went out. But unfortunately, he was handed a penalty, which dropped him all the way down to 6th after taking the outright victory come the end of the race. But I wonder if there was anything else that we didn't quite see on our cameras, if there was someone maybe creeping forward, maybe someone out of position just ever so slightly. That, of course, is under investigation. Good to see that some of the marshals here are embracing the holiday spirit as well, as they recover Peyton Westcott's number 98 there, and that'll be put behind the wheel, behind the wall, excuse me, and then of course the 77 will also be put back behind the wall as well. And then we should be, once we get the all clear, we should be back to racing once again here at the Marina circuit for the second and final time today for Formula Trophy. Al Aksoy is out in front, exactly where he'd like to be, and outscoring his championship rivals by a massive point margin. Remember, he only needed to finish 4th or better and to ensure a title when it comes the end of the race here. And at the moment, he is in a crucial point scoring position where it looks to be in his favour at the moment. So the recovery effort underway there for the 77 from XL Motorsport. That car will be retrieved and recovered and moved off of the circuit. And then once we've got the all clear, we'll be racing once again. So Aksoy, Harfield, Lindblom are your top 3. Then we have the Pinnacle Motorsport number 19, Nicolo, who is our points leader coming into this race. But unfortunately, the first race did not go his way, and now has to fight back for this title if he wants to walk away with it later on after this race. Nicholas Tatti in the AGI Sport car sits 5th in the number 15, with Kasper Schwartzmans alongside, behind him, because it won't be a double file restart, it will be a single single file restart. He sits in 6th position ahead of compatriot Nina Gadman in her high-tech TGR there in the number 6. Rowan Campbell Pilling, our race 1 winner, sitting in 8th place, with Hunter Salvatore in the Evans GP. Number 60 sits 9th, and David Cosma Christopher, he sits in 10th overall in that number 3. So let's have a look at the replay in slow motion and see if we can detect anything. Do we see anything? Do we see anybody creeping forward? And that would be the reason why anyone is under investigation now. It didn't look like anyone was creeping forward there when it came to the start, at least at the front sort of 4 rows. And there you can see, unfortunately, Adam Al-Azhari not getting the car going. I think he may have just slipped off the clutch a little bit too early there and stalled, but got the car going again. And he's now up into 16th position in that number 12. And then you see that 3-wide battle going down towards the first corner, down into turn 9. Which of course they start from the support paddock area. Now we can see both cars have been recovered here at the Marina circuit. So once we've got the green light to go racing again, the safety car will peel into pit lane and we'll be back to green flag racing here with what should be just over 12 minutes of racing, but we'll wait and see how long it takes us to go around to see how much time left on the clock, plus 1 additional lap here to see who will walk away with the victory and who, of course, will walk away with the biggest prize of them all. As we said, Al-Aqsoy here has the lead by 11 points in the driver classification and is looking very comfortable up in front for the time being. But let's see what happens when comes the restart here at the Marina circuit in our final. It's heartbreaking to say this is our final race here at Formula Trophy as well. It's been an incredible season so far with action in each and every race that we've had, and it's always been very, very exciting here to see these young stars of the future show just what they have in terms of racecraft, and it's been a very, very thrilling season throughout the 3 weeks. So safety car will come in at the end of this lap, and that'll be good news for Al-Aqsoy. So what he'll want to do is he'll want to back Tommy Harfield into the rest of the field to ensure that he gets the getaway that he would like to have to ensure victory come at the end of the 12-ish minutes that should be left on the clock. Well, it looks like we'll have under 12 minutes actually on the clock, plus an additional lap when it comes here to the end of the race. Rowan Campbell Pilling not in a position that he'd like to be in. He'd prefer if he was in the same position as he was in race number 1, but currently sat in 8th place, one of 4 drivers in contention to be top of the board when it comes to the driver classification here at the end of the race. So Mumbai Falcons Racing Limited out in front once again, with the likes of Al-Aqsoy in the driver's seat and controlling the field. So the lights should go off on top of the safety car in a few moments time, and it will peel away now, so it accelerates down the back straight. Now the field is in control of Al-Aqsoy here, who will lead them through turn 8 and across the line. On the restart, the lights have been extinguished, so we will be going racing this time around as the Chevy Camaro will make its way through the final corners. Al-Aqsoy now slows the field down. It's up to him to control it. It's his pace that sets the field up at the moment. And the drivers behind him will want to be going as quick as possible. They want to get as much time in. They want to have more racing laps here to challenge Alp and the Mumbai Falcons Racing Limited team here for the top step of the podium. So now through turn 6 and 7 we will go. Our race leader Al-Aqsoy with Tommy Harfield behind him. When will Al-Aqsoy push his foot on the accelerator? He goes now, and he's got a decent sized gap between himself and Tommy Harfield. And Scott King-Lindblom has stayed right with Harfield as they make their way through turn 7. The green flags wave, the restart underway here at the Marina circuit for our second race. And look at the gap that Al-Aqsoy has already built, because Lindblom is applying the pressure and trying to go around the outside of Harfield, but Tommy has the inside line and will keep position for the time being. He will keep Lindblom behind him as they run here, but Lindblom will be fighting for that position. And are we going to have the same battle that we had earlier today, but not for the third step of the podium, but for the second step of the podium? And it certainly seems to be that way as well, because we have a number of cars queuing up to be in that crucial position come the end of the race. Tommy Harfield, Scott King-Lindblom, Nicolo Massinagani, the Nicolas Stati AGI Sport car, Kasper Schwarzmann in the Evans GP car as well, all in the mix there for that second step of the podium here, as Al-Maksoy is released from this group and is extending his lead as well. It was 7/10 of a second at the line, closer to the 8/10 of a second mark, with less than 10 minutes plus one additional lap remaining on the clock here for our 7th and final race of Formula Trophy here, as groups are starting to form here as well. We see Arthur Dodonka there at the tail end of one of the fields there behind Leon Headforce, and just behind him this battle between Charbel and Chen Sigong. There, the battle is for 20th position by the looks. Actually, no, it'd be 19th. So Arthur Dodonka got through, did the young Belgian, and moves his way up the order, up into 19th, but that 18th position actually, because he's moved ahead. But as he got past Leon Headforce by the looks of it, he may have done so as well on the restart, pushing him further up the order as well. So down the back straight we go with 9 minutes remaining on the clock. We have drivers behind trying to figure out where they like to be in the corner here, as that on the inside is Nicolas Stati. Excuse me, on the outside they go, but through turn 7 he has the inside line, and that comes very, very close there to contact between the two of them. Even closer, we could have seen a puncture on the rear left there of that AGI Sport car, but Nicolas Stati did a magnificent job. But Nicolo is fighting back, and look who's in the mix here as well. It is Hunter Salvatore, no mate, that Kasper Schwarzmann, who wants to be a part of this battle as well, and says, I'm going to get both of you here when it comes the right time. And it looks like one of those opportunities has arrived already as he pounces to the inside, does the Dutchman, but loses that position back to Nicolas Stati as he works his way through and underneath the W Hotel here, with just over 8 minutes remaining on the clock. This is the battle here for 4th overall. Now, down to Cosmo Christopher, moves up into 9th position. Hunter Salvatore is up into 7th place. Adam Al-Asari moves up into 15th position. Arthur Dodonka moves up into 18th overall. So he did get past both the 55 and 63 now. Bernardo Bernaldi, who had that contact through turn 5 earlier on, before the safety car was deployed, is also making headroom as well for Mumbai Falcons Racing Limited, making his way up to 23rd behind Jordan Moodley at the moment. So back with the race leader though, Aksoy, but who's this coming under pressure? It's one of the XL Motorsport cars on the inside. Now then, is that Leon Headforce? Because Arthur Dodonka may have got through, and I think Leon is looking for that position back as well as they make their way through turn 1. But back now with the race leader, Al-Maksoy, who leads by a second here. Last time around at 1:57.876, and he's gone purple through sector 1 and sector 2 here to go even quicker and extend that lead as well, as he looks in his rearview mirrors and sees that Tommy has to deal with Scott Kidd Lindblom, who try and have those two battle it out. And he may have known what happened with Lindblom controlling that 3rd position as well, pretty much through the second half of race number 1 earlier today. And he will be doing the same thing here in this second race. Now, the Pinnacle Motorsport number 19 under pressure again from both Evans GP and the AGI Sport car as well. Nicolas Stati and Kasper Schwarzmann's trying to find a way past Nicolo as they run here, but Tommy Harfield was the quickest across the line last time round, a 1:57.206, but still a second back as an XL Motorsport car looks on the inside. That's the 42 of Rowan Campbell pilling on the inside of Hunter Salvatore. Does he get that position through? No, they come through the exit side by side once again. On the exit of turn 9 through turn 10 they will go. Are they still line astern, or is our race 1 winner got the move done? He's got it through, but locks the right front up, making his way just before the W Hotel, but shuts the door on the Evans GP driver to move up into 7th overall, but needs to score more points if he wants to walk away with the title when it comes to the end of this race here. He's going to have to make quick moves here because he's only got 6 minutes left on the clock, plus 1 lap here around the Yas Marina circuit. More movement at the back of the field there as well, with Theo Palmer going past what looked to be David Cosma Christopher by the looks of it. Now, that's not good news for the Romanian driver, because that means he's losing crucial points here, but he's going to fight this position with Theo Palmer as well through the first corner as they muscle each other out wide through that first corner, and that's definitely going to be under investigation. Now, car 42 will be under investigation as well for an unsafe rejoin. That is our race 1 winner, Rowan Campbell Pilling, who's under investigation. And for Al Maxoy, extends his lead here, but Tommy Harfield is charging hard as well as Scotkin Lindblom is trying to catch the back bumper here of Tommy Harfield to see if he can challenge for the next step up on the podium. He walked away with a third place, but here comes the pressure again from Nicola Stati in AGI Sports number 15 on the Pinnacle Motorsport number 19, but unfortunately no opportunity for him there to sneak up through on the inside and take the position away, will Nicola Stati, so he'll have to settle for 5th position. That's the battle for 4th, and that's allowing Lindblom to escape now up the road and catch Tommy Harfield. Quickest man out there this time round, Nicola Stati with a 1:57.116. Rowan Campbell-Pilling moves up to 7th after finding a way past Hunter Salvatore. Theo Palmer up as well, bumping Davide Cosma Christopher down a position into 10th and the final point scoring position. Adam Al-Asari moves up into 12th with Yuki Suzuka also moving up as well, up into 13th. And unfortunately that number 6 High-Tech TGR going the wrong direction as she falls down to 14th overall. Arthur Didonka moves up as well into 16th position here at the Marina circuit, now tucked in behind Cole Hewitson, and moving his way up the order past Putera Hani Halim for Pinnacle Motorsport. But up front, there he is once again, Al Maxoy leading by a second here, but it's cars behind him that are going quicker, including that number 19 Pinnacle Motorsport car, 25.034 through that first sector. That is the quickest so far. Now it looks like Al-Asari is moving up the order as well, and indeed he is, because now he's mixing it up with Davide Cosma Christopher and Theo Palmer. Well, actually Theo's a bit further up the road. Now this is the battle for the final point scoring position. Davide Cosma Christopher is the current leader, but it looks like one of the Evans GP cars may have dropped down, but that also looks like an AGI Sport car. That might be Noah Killian, and indeed it is. That's gotten ahead as Adam looks on the inside of Davide Christopher. Does he get the move done? It's going to be a long way through the final corner as Davide is run all the way wide off into the marbles and offline as well, but that moves Al-Asari up a position, now tucked in behind what I have a feeling is the number 13 that's got through from AGI Sports. Now we're going to try and go forward, but that's not going to work as we have cars locking up through turn 6, and we have cars all figuring out where they would like to be. Now, was that Nina Gaidman trying to work her way up the order? I think it was in the number 6 as well. But what about Davide Cosma Christopher? Loses 2 places to both Noah Killian and Adam Al-Asari there in 10th and 11th. So Adam only 1 position away from a point scoring position. And now Davide Cosma is under pressure again from another car behind him, High-Tech TGR. Nina Gaidman all over the back bumper of him for the time being. Cole Hewitson is going to be drawn into this mix as well at some point. Now into the pit lane has come Yuta Suzuki. Now remember, he got caught up with the Bernardo Bernaldi car before we had the safety car, and that was Arthur Didonka looking on the inside of Cole Hewitson. He wants to be a part of this battle as well, because just up ahead of him is the battle for the final point scoring position, and that'll be a great way there for the young Belgian driver as he looks to the inside, not close enough to make a move. Very late on the brakes there as Yuta Suzuki, his teammate, is making his way out of pit lane, and there was a brief yellow flag at turn 5 for somebody. Now car 3 and 7 under investigation at turn 1. That's Theo Palmer and Davide Cosma Christopher, and we saw that incident before where they were pushing each other as far as they could and maybe just pushed a little bit too much there, and that's how the watchful eye of the stewards are now closely monitoring that situation there as well. So once again through sector 1, it's not our race leader who's quickest of all, a 25.002 for our race 1 winner, Rowan Campbell-Pilling, but not close enough where he could score more points and outscore the man that's out in front, Al Maxoy, who's looking on track here for not just the title when it comes to the rookies, but also the title overall here in Formula Trophy. As Al-Asari there looking at the back there of Noah Killian, trying to find a way through as well as everything unfolds behind him as well, as there is the battle for second rolling over the start-finish line. Now with 45 seconds left on the clock plus 1 additional lap, This is the penultimate lap, so next time round they come through, it will say this is the last lap, this is your opportunity to find a way through. Nicola Stati, quickest of all on that previous lap, a 1:56.824, a 40.877. Now, there's a big puff of smoke there, so that is a lockup, but who was that lockup from? Was that from Lindblom? Because that gap between himself and the number 19 is closed right up through those sequence of corners. And, well, Nicolo will be smelling blood in the water because he knows that he's putting the pressure on Lindblom, and maybe that pressure is now starting to crack and he'll find a way through in a few moments' time if he can. Now, Nicola Stati is under investigation for forcing a car off the track at turn 7. He forced the number 19, and that is under investigation now by the stewards. Quickest through that first sector was that number 19 at 24.972 as the Italian tries to catch Scotkin Lindblom and find an opportunity to seize and make his way up the order. Up front, 1.4 seconds though separates Alp Aksoy and Tommy Harfield in his first race weekend with us here in Formula Trophy, doing a great job controlling second place. Now, track limit for car number 5 has been dished out to Scotkin Lindblom. That's for track limits at turn 5 as well. So that's his first warning. He doesn't want to get more warnings because that would be an infringement, and then of course will be a penalty to be applied to him come the end of the race. So Alp Aksoy now through the penultimate corners here and makes his way towards the sport paddock, because this time round will be 1 lap to go for the Turkish driver with a gap of 1.4 seconds at the line. Let's see what it is this time round. And it is 1.4 seconds to the good so far. So just 16 more corners for the driver from Turkey to navigate and walk away with the final win of Formula Trophy here after 7 rounds. He's walked away with at least 1 winner's trophy. He's taken top honours in every single rookie category race that we've had here, and another lock-up there in the right front from Nicolo in the Pinnacle Motorsport car. Now this time it was him that was locking up, not the car in front of him. Arthur Dodonka moves up now into 14th position for Axel GP. If only there was some more laps left on the clock for him, could he carve his way through? But he's sitting 3rd overall at the moment in terms of where the rookies are placed. But it's Alp Aksoy who sits far, far ahead up the road. Kasper Schulmans also sits in 2nd in the rookies there. He currently sits 6th overall here in our final race at the Marina circuit. So Alp Aksoy only has half the track to navigate as an AGI Sport car runs wide through turn 1. That was Nicola Stati, who was on quick laps earlier today, but I think he may have worn all those tyres out, and running off wide like that, he's going to pick up all the marbles that will unsettle his ride now towards the end. But is that going to stop him anytime soon as he looks for a way on the inside of the Pinnacle Motorsport number 19 on the back straightaway? But just in front of this queue of cars here, Alp Aksoy will navigate the final few corners, and when he comes across the line in first position at the sharp end of the field, the number 10, he will be the overall victor. But that doesn't mean we don't have action on track still to talk about, because Nicolo and Nicola Stati there almost coming together. There was a slight touch between the two of them, and they will trade positions through 6 and 7. But across the line comes Alp Aksoy, who takes victory in the very last race of the year here at Formula Trophy, and side by side come the two cars battling for 4th, and it was Nicola Stati who took the position at the line. But Tommy Harfield, in his 2nd race here in Formula Trophy, will stand on the 2nd step of the podium, with Scotkin Lindblom walking away with his 2nd trip to the podium and his 3rd place finish. But for this man here, Alp Aksoy, what a season it has been here in Formula Trophy, and for Mumbai Falcons Racing Limited as well. They've won 6 of the 7 races that we had here in Formula Trophy, and they will end the season on a high. So will this man here as well. Not only top honours in the race overall, but also in the rookie standings as well. So he'll walk away with 4 different trophies here, and a thumbs up there from his competitors from Evans GP. That's the number 40 there of Kasper Schulmans, who joined us here this weekend, did the Dutchman. Now for Alp Aksoy, what lies ahead? Will it be Formula 4 in Europe? Formula 4 here in the Middle East? Well, fingers crossed. He did say that he'll be joining the field at some point once again, and hopefully we will see him here in Formula 4 Middle East next month when that kicks off here in the United Arab Emirates. But what a magnificent drive for him. Not a foot wrong at all this weekend, and is on the podium once again, and he'll be one step higher than he was earlier today. And for Tommy Harfield as well, to come into this very fierce Formula Trophy from the very get-go, it was very hard to predict who would be at the end of it all, who would be walking away with the most coveted prize come the final race. And to come and secure second place in only your second race in Formula Trophy is no easy feat. And for Scott Lindblom, it will be another trophy to walk away with here as well. A thrilling end there to a thrilling season in Formula Trophy. It's a shame that we have to wait till next year to see it all again, but no doubt these drivers here will appear not just here in the United Arab Emirates, but around the globe, racing in various Formula 4 categories. Al-Baksoy takes it for Mumbai Falcons Racing Limited by 1.6 seconds at the line, ahead of Tommy Harfield from XGP, who joined us here this weekend and walk away with some silverware as well. Scott Lindblom walks away with third, and of course that is his second trophy of the weekend. But for Al-Baksoy, it is also top honours in the rookie category as well. Nicola Stati there for AGI Sport walks away with fourth, with what came down all the way to the wire to figure out who it would be on or in that fourth position. But there is the man from Turkey, a very calm and reserved man, talking to him in the paddock area. Kept it nice and cool, and was hoping for a clean race like the one that we just had here, and he'll be absolutely delighted with that. And so are the team there from Mumbai Falcons Racing Limited. He will greet his team and the personnel as well, and he'll be making his way up there to the podium presentation area for the final time this season here at the Marina circuit. He'll be joined with Tommy Harfield and Scott Lindblom. So the only driver who is new to the podium here in race number 2 is Tommy Harfield as well. Both Al-Baksoy and Scott Lindblom took trophies home after the first race, with, as we said before, Scott taking a third place trophy. He'll walk away with another one here. Al-Baksoy walked away with second in race 1 earlier today with top honours in the rookie category, but now we'll walk away with both top honours in rookie and also the biggest prize of the evening as well so far, before, of course, he will no doubt get that, because, of course, with 25 points to his name, he extends his lead. It was 11 points to his closest rival of Rowan Campbell-Pilling coming into this race, and with 25 points added, well, no one can close that gap on him at all unless he finished fourth or, fifth or lower, but that didn't happen. And so we can check out some highlights now from race 2 of Formula Trophy, the final race of Formula Trophy here in the United Arab Emirates. fantastic way to end Formula Trophy here at the Marina circuit. So let's have one final look at how it all finished here. Albak Soy takes it from Tommy Harfield, and Scott Lindblom there rounds out the top three finishers. Thank you so much for joining us here at the Marina circuit, or from wherever you are around the world. We appreciate your company. Have a wonderful evening, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful evening.